Welcome back to JBuck Studios for another live Q&A. What's going on, everybody? I don't know if anyone's actually in here yet, but, it's lazy Saturday, essentially. I have my coffee. I haven't really showered much. I'm sure I smell, but we're here to talk some Q&As, ask some questions, answer some questions, all of that stuff. So hopefully everyone that's tuning in, that's watching all of that, is doing well, is having a good time on a Saturday morning. But no, man, I'm ready to just kind of sit down, hang out with you guys, talk about some random shenanigans, hang out, all of that stuff. We have some people popping in already. We have certain vids, the movie Oracle. Oh my gosh, she finally made it. She finally made it to a live stream. And then Joey's movie blog. What is going on, everyone? How is everyone doing? What has everyone been up to? What videos? What live streams? Since movie theaters are closed, what have you guys been doing? Have you been watching a lot of VOD, a lot of streaming, or kind of watching a lot of stuff that you've kind of missed out? I'm kind of curious. And yes, that is my coffee because I'm struggling. I drink a lot of coffee. I'm very much addicted to it. Hey, Ryan from What Were You Watching? What's going on, man? Like this afternoon stream, a nice afternoon stream. But yeah, no, Joey's just waking up. He knows what's up. Sleep in Saturday morning, lazy Saturday morning. Oh, man. Fun. I'm trying to think what I got going on today. Actually, after this, I have an interview with Ronald E. Smith. So I'm pretty excited for that. That should be a fun interview. But then last night I did a podcast episode of Movies and Nonsense with old Dan Jensen. Crazy man over there, Dan Jensen's Movie Talk. So that will be posted on Monday. But then, just kind of the normal, usual stuff. Movie Oracle, what the fuck is in the coffee? Don't worry about it. Don't worry. There's nothing in the coffee. It's just beans and water. Coffee, beans, and water. Certain vids has to say, my Blu-rays have been helping me through this. I've also tried catching up on some more classic stuff. Yeah, I know the classic stuff. I've talked with a couple friends, and I wouldn't say I watched classic stuff, not at all, like Gone with the Wind, Casablanca, Citizen Kane, anything like that. But I've seen a lot of people going back and doing that, which I probably should in this weird time. The films that I've went back to watch are like Taxi Driver, Blind Spotting, American Animals, Edge of 17, just kind of ones in the last like 5 years essentially that I kind of just missed, that slipped through the cracks while I was kind of, in on all of these movies, reviewing movies, all of that stuff. Yeah, those are the ones that I've been watching. Not really anything like major that I really need to go back and check out. But we got a couple questions already coming in here, wherever it went. I don't know where it went. Oh, there we go. Boom. So the Liam Rush Show, welcome to the show, and welcome to the Q&A, Liam. Favorite ever comedy, horror, or sci-fi movie? Comedies, I love a lot of, I wouldn't say classic comedies, but like 90s comedy, stuff that I grew up with. And the one that I always go back to, one that I always get tons and tons of laughs from, are Dumb and Dumber. I love that one, and it's just so quotable. It has so many funny lines and everything like that. So that is probably my all-time favorite comedy of just watching and everything. But I love watching 2001's Out Cold. It has a young Zach Galifianakis. It essentially is the same plot line of Casablanca, which I found out later. Not really like laugh out loud humor and everything, but that just kind of almost is like this nostalgia type feeling movie that I love going to. Favorite horror film, as many of you guys know, I'm sure Movie Oracle is gonna laugh about this, but like I'm not a big horror guy. I don't watch a lot of horror because I get very easily scared. But the one horror film that I've watched the most is Wrong Turn. I don't know what year that came out, but it has God, what's her name? She's from Bring It On. Eliza Dushku is in it, and I have no idea why, but I've watched that movie so many times, and I don't know if it was a thing where, like, growing up, it was like that was the go-to movie for date nights and stuff, and I just stuck with it and just watched it all the time. Who knows? Who knows? Um, and then favorite sci-fi movie is Inception a sci-fi movie? Because we're gonna go with that one. Otherwise, I love Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger, 1990. He goes to Mars. There's a bunch of weird aliens, a bunch of weird lore. It's like, is he the real person? Is he Quaid? Check that movie out if you haven't. I absolutely love um, Total Recall. Total Recall is awesome. All right, let's see what some other people have on here. What's Movie Oracle have to say? I've been watching a lot of shows, a mixture of old and new movies. Really enjoying a lot of companies sending me their movies. Wow, hey, Movie Oracle, you don't need to brag about companies sending you movies, okay? We get it. You're kind of big over there. Certain vids. This week, I finally got around to The Lord of the Rings, and it was epic. Did you have a big, like, essentially watch marathon, like back to back to back, like make it a 9-hour thing? Or did you even go even one further and watch the extended editions? Because that is a commitment. I think that would be, I've always asked my friends, I mean, this was years ago, but I was like, what would be like a triple feature or a trilogy you'd love to sit down, just completely binge through, but also you have to make it like a drinking contest? And I don't want to bring alcohol in this and make it, like an adult stream, but like we always thought it would be like the King of the Rings or something for Lord of the Rings, where it's like you have to drink a whole case or something like that. I don't know. Again, this was like us in college talking about stuff, but that'd be a heck of a time to check out all of the Lord of the Rings and everything like that. Hey, Q Reviews is in here. What do you think of HBO Max? Love your channel, fam. Well, thank you, Q. I appreciate it, my man. Yeah, you got blood all over yourself. The image is scaring me. What do I think of HBO Max? I really haven't jumped onto it too much. I was on a podcast prior, a couple days ago, and we talked about it. And the thing is, if you're looking for original content, that's not what this is for yet. It's going to be that, but with all of these, even Disney Plus, it was a thing where they had to build up to it and get that original content. But with the catalog of HBO, like the previous stuff that they have, I think that is more than worth the money right there. Plus, they've brought in all of these other things. They have certain things from Cartoon Network. They have Crunchyroll. They have a bunch of different things from other streaming platforms. The one thing that I'm a little hurt about, and I don't know if it's going to show up or not, but someone was saying that like they have Cartoon Network stuff, and Dexter's Laboratory is one of the big ones, but they don't have like the rest of that Friday night lineup of like Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Powerpuff Girls, Cow and Chicken, like stuff like that, where that was like my childhood growing up. Those were the cartoons that Johnny Bravo, that was another one. Like those were essentially the cartoons that I grew up watching. So I'm curious if they're going to get those moving forward or not. I don't know. I think that HBO Max, if you're going to pick two streaming services, it would be Netflix and HBO Max. And honestly, like maybe down the road, it might just be, the only reason Netflix is still a viable option is because it has so much content on the platform. So that I would say that's why. What else do we have? Certain Vids has to say, what is your favorite film from the year you were born? Oh, let me Google this quick because I don't know exactly every movie that came out that year. But honestly, I might fall back to Total Recall because I think that came out that year. Popular movies from 1990. So we have Misery, we have Ghost, we have Darkman, we have Total Recall, Shipwrecked, Dances with Wolves, Kindergarten Cop. I don't know, these are ones that are just popping up. Pretty Woman. Yeah, I'm going to go with Total Recall because for some reason that one also popped up like one of the top ones that I see here. Yeah, probably Total Recall because I love that. Otherwise, a close second and I don't know if it's my favorite. It's just one that I've watched a lot. Is Home Alone. Love that movie. Love that movie. There is a red cushion or something in the back put on camera. It looks like someone hunched over hiding behind the couch. Movie article. Is it this right here? Like right there? Are you talking about that? That is another couch. So there's couches back to back over there. Because when we moved in, they left all of their furniture. And that couch right there is like what I had at my old place. So there's actually couch to couch back to back. And then there's also that futon right over there. I have way too much furniture down here, essentially, is what you're getting at. It is not someone hunched over and going to murder me, so don't worry about that. Favorite joke from a scary movie? Oh, God, Seth, this is a good answer. I mean, the best quote. There's two quotes that, like, one is you and Cody agree with the one where it's oh God, what is it? Where Scary Movie 3 and she throws the kids throw the crayons at the board and they're like, hey, who the fuck threw that? But the one that I quote all the time and my mom actually quotes too is like, Cindy, your TV's leaking. Like, for some reason I have no idea if my mom knows what that's from, but she'll quote that all the time when we're home and stuff, so that's really weird. But favorite joke? Oh God, it's probably got to be from Scary Movie 2. And it's got to be like man, this is a tough one because they're just jam-packed full of jokes. I think it's got to be something with the Hollow Man or scene. I don't know, man. Favorite joke? That's so tough because it's jokes and sketches all mixed together. You know what? Actually, maybe Scary Movie 1 where Ray is talking about like, hey, whatever happened to so-and-so? Oh, long blonde hair, tight ass, really thin. Oh, no, I was talking about Steve. Like, because that was when like Steve's sister or whatever died. I think it was funny. Ray is just a really funny character in that because he's obviously playing very much into that like stereotypical gay character. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think on that one because I would say Scary Movie 1, 2, and 3 are the best. 4 sort of just gets off the rails, so I'll have to check that out. Wrong Turn, what were you watching? Says Wrong Turn and Jeepers Creepers were the big ones amongst my high school folks back in the day. Yeah, Jeepers Creepers was another one that I always caught on TV. And for the longest time, I had never seen it all the way through. And then I think it was like, honestly, like 2 years ago, I watched it all the way through. I had seen 2 back in high school. But then I was sitting at the bar with my brother, and he had said he had just watched Jeepers Creepers 3. And apparently all 3 of those movies happen within like a 7-day period, which I think is just so fascinating. Obviously, there's like a flash forward in Scary Movie 2 after they've spoiler, something happens to the Jeepers Creepers guy. But I think that that's just a fascinating franchise about how everything is just clumped into just like a quick period of time. Which celebrity has facial hair you admire and wish you could have? Oh God. I'm going to look this up to see what celebrities have goofy facial hair. Celebrity facial hair. I mean, what you're seeing right now is the most facial hair I've ever had in my life. So, I take what you can get, I guess. I don't know. I would probably just go with a mustache, like someone with a really good mustache. Probably, honestly, this dude, what's his name? The dude from This Is Us with the mustache. Just a classic go-to mustache. I'd probably go with that or Burt Reynolds' mustache. My dad has a fierce mustache, so hopefully when I get older, I can grow a mustache just like him. I can get a nice mustache. Let's see here. Certain vids. I watched one a day and only did the theatrical cuts, but I plan on watching the extended versions back at some point, probably during the quarantine, as that is when I have 12 hours available of doing nothing. Yeah, so he's talking about the Lord of the Rings again, sort of just binge watching through those and all of that stuff. Yeah, that'd be fun for sure. Liam says, yes, Inception would be a sci-fi movie. So, yep, Inception is my favorite one for sure. Hey, Marvel Fan 45, what's going on? How's it going? Hopefully you are doing well, sir. Thank you for joining the stream. Liam Rush, I've seen Total Recall, both of them. Yeah, there's that, what, 2000-ish, like 15 maybe, remake with Colin Farrell. It sort of follows the same path, but it just doesn't have that what made the original kind of so fun and everything. It doesn't live up to it. I mean, I love that 1990 version. I watched it on TV, I feel like, all the time when I would go visit my grandparents. And it was just so weird and goofy, and, you know, there's the classic stuff of the three-breasted woman, and is he actually in a dream, is he not? It's so cool. It's so weird. I love it. Love it. Q Review says, facts! Probably talking about HBO Max for sure. We have all these Cartoon Network shows, including I Am Weasel and Cow and Chicken, on our streaming site in Oz called Stan. Oh my gosh. Movie Oracle, are they just kind of recorded from TV, like from back in the 90s or early 2000s, and it's kind of like lower quality? Or is this like an actual streaming service where they've like up-resed everything into like essentially 720 or even 1080, so then it's worth watching? Like, I'm kind of curious about that, because that's kind of cool for sure. Yeah, cool stuff. Did you ever watch Regular Show? I'm telling you, man, that's got to be my favorite animated series of all time. Gets me cracking up cracking up so often. I got to look that one up, because is that the one with the blue jay and the raccoon? If it is, then I've seen a handful of episodes. Regular Show. Okay, yeah. It's with the blue jay, the raccoon, and a bunch of other weird things. I've only seen like a handful of episodes. I don't know anything about it. I just know those two main characters with like the blue jay and the raccoon dude in it. So, no, I haven't checked it out. I'm wondering if that was just like an era of cartoons that came out right after like the whole, because I was in on Cartoon Network when it was, you know, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Johnny Bravo, like that whole lineup. And then like boom, right after that, I couldn't tell you what cartoons were on there and stuff. I've tried to see a couple other ones, but it just a couple recent ones like Steven Universe and stuff like that, and or a Wonderful World of Gumball, I believe, and it got weird. I don't get it, I guess. Let's see here. What's your favorite Fanjecture's in the topic? What's your favorite Arnold movie? Before we get into that, I will say, a little plug. Fanjecture, he has a live show, a live movie debate every Wednesday, and this coming Wednesday, myself and Dan Jensen will be over on his channel debating Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I don't know if I should spoil the question here right now, Fanjecture. There's a lot of Arnold movies that I love. Like, honestly, going through, he's like the classic like action star. Obviously I've shown my love of Total Recall already quite a bit, but oh god, what is it? Predator is pretty good. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. What's the one where he punches the guy on the plane and then he flips the car over? That doesn't help at all. He flips that shit over in every movies. Someone's gonna beat me to it, I bet. It's not Commando. It's not True Lies. Ooh. I really like, Eraser. I think it's Eraser. Yep. Thank you, Ryan. Otherwise, I'm a big fan of Jingle All the Way, and also The Running Man. Like, The Running Man was another one of those that I would turn on the TV on like a Saturday, and like we didn't have cable, so there was one channel that always had like 3 movies that they would play, and it'd just be completely random. So I'd jump into the TV guide, old, like the newspaper, I'd flip and be like, okay, what movies am I watching? And most of the time it was a misprint or they played a different movie. But yeah, The Running Man was one that I just tuned into all the time because it is so goofy and weird, and the lines and the quotes are in it, and Jesse Ventura's in it. It's a weird movie. So if you're looking for a movie, check out Running Man. It is wild. Dude, the fact that you use Scary Movie intro for the Ring ending explained poorly had me laugh so damn hard. Well, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for checking that out. Yeah, I love, those ending explained poorly videos. I know that some people don't like them, some people do. They're my favorite videos to do, probably, because I throw in so many stupid jokes and stuff. Like, for example, The Ring. I used a lot of footage from Scary Movie 3 in that ending explained poorly, and a few people appreciated it. Obviously, yourself, you loved it, so thank you. Thank you for appreciating that and, at least making you laugh. Like, that's why I'm making these videos, so you being able to laugh, my job is done. Have you checked out Defending Jacob on Apple TV Plus? It just ended, and I thought it was great. Stars Chris Evans and Michelle Dockery, who are fantastic in it. I have not seen that. I know that quite a few people, it's been talked about quite a bit. I know a lot of people are talking about it, and is it sort of like a mystery thriller kind of suspense type show? I mean, Apple TV Plus, that's one streaming service I haven't really messed around with yet. But I think that they have a few hidden gems. Like you're saying, this Defending Jacob, people are saying is pretty good. The Banker, the movie over there, I thought was fine. I wouldn't say that it's like a must-watch for the app. But it seems to, it has some good stuff. And then also, let's see here. Mike Media down in the comments earlier or later said that Apple TV Plus just got the new Scorsese film, so it might be a thing that slowly becomes an app or a streaming service that people like a little bit more. Hey, Mark Escobar, how's it going, man? Oh, excuse me. Thank you for joining the stream, and hopefully you are doing well this week, all of that stuff. Scary Movie 2, Cindy, it's a skeleton. It's just bones. Would you run for Calista Flockhart? See, that's the thing, is there's so many jokes in those movies. And the funny thing is, I am not a big horror fan. So I watch the Scary Movie movies, and then now when I'm going back and maybe watching some older horror films or ones that I've missed, I'm like, I've already seen this, and it's not scary because they made fun of it in the Scary Movie movies. Speaking of Scary Movie 1 is, the movie everyone kind of talks about. It's the beginning, blah, blah, blah. Has anyone ever seen Shriek, I Know What You Did the Last Friday the 13th? Because that movie and Scary Movie 3, or Scary Movie 1, they came out within months of each other, and they're very much like the exact same movie. The Shriek movie is a little bit more leaning towards I Know What You Did Last Summer than Scary Movie leaning into Scream. But if you watch them, they have very much the same plot lines and everything. And it's so weird how two of almost the exact same comedy parody movies came out around the same time, but yet one of them completely blew the other one away and essentially made a franchise out of it. So yeah, just go check that out for sure if you haven't. Not my favorite quote, just throwing it out for an example for ya. Yes. It's not fascinating. Jeepers Creepers 3 screwed up that 1 week timeline. Oh, it did? Hold on. No, the shows look like the old. Oh crap. So it's not fascinating. Jeepers Creepers 3 screwed up the week 1 timeline. Movie Oracle, let me know what the hell they messed up, because I'm kind of curious about that. I thought that it all fit inside that 1 week time period, but maybe Now that you're saying it, I'm wondering if they just came in and completely made a third movie and tried to jam pack it in there, retconning some certain things or whatever. No, the shows look like old quality, like on TV, but honestly, I prefer that, and it feels nostalgic to myself. Yeah, I think that would be cool, especially if they threw in, '90s commercials from that time too. I think that would be the ultimate nostalgia blast, like getting commercials for like Polly Pocket and the Creepy Crawler, Bake Oven, and all of those stuff. Like those are even like Super Nintendo, Sega commercials. Like maybe it's just this weird brain thing where it's the nostalgia factor, but I don't feel like commercials are as like cool as they were in the 90s, because like my grandpa, for example, he would record a VHS tape of cartoons, and it would be like Saturday morning for 5-6 hours, and the commercials would still be on there, and we would watch that over and over and over again as kids. So we would still watch the commercials, not even fast forward through them, because I just loved not the cartoons, but the commercials from then. And that's what kind of has an influence on JBuck Live, where I'm throwing random commercials in, some old nostalgic, 90s stuff and whatnot, crazy stuff. Have you seen Goon 2001? Also, what is your favorite hockey movie? Yes, I have seen Goon, and I think we talked about it a little bit on a previous SoCo show. That movie, excuse me, that movie is that's like almost, I wouldn't say hidden gem, but one that more people need to probably see, because it is a pretty good comedy film and a pretty good hockey film. As for your second question, what's your favorite hockey movie? I don't know that many hockey movies. I mean, I know of like the Mighty Ducks, I know Miracle, I know Goon. I'm gonna look this up to see if there's like a whole plethora of hockey movies that I don't know about, because yeah, the Mighty Ducks, D2, D3, MVP's Most Valuable Primate. There was that one. Slapshot. Yeah, I don't know. I would probably say Goon or one of the original Mighty Ducks. I grew up with the Mighty Ducks movies, obviously. So those ones kind of almost, again, a nostalgia trip. Have you seen any Lars von Trier films? I'm doing a study of his films on my channel and wanted to see if you had any opinion. Let me double check, because I don't know which ones he's done. Lars von Trier films. Hold on, hold please. So Antichrist, Dogville. So I'm scrolling through this, and the only one I have seen are the Nymphomaniac films. I watched both of them. Oh my God, this is a trip. I watched them with an ex-girlfriend, like, back in 14 or something, 2014. And they're messed up. They are very, like, I don't know what his style of filmmaking is, but like, I don't know. We didn't want to watch it, but we kept watching it. I don't know. I think that she maybe was like into it, like very much like, this is risque and I'm loving it. But it was too much for myself. Yes, Eraser is the film I think we were talking about, where he flips the car over and he holds the guy over the cliff, and he's like, I thought you were going to kill me last. And he's like, I lied. So yeah, I think that's the one we were talking about. Certain vids, favorite Nolan film besides Inception. Oh God, maybe The Dark Knight. I know that's like the cliche answer. I know some people really love Dunkirk, but I didn't like it. I don't know why. I know that some people are like, oh, it's such a great war movie and this and that. It was put in a perspective that I thought I was getting something else, and that's what I got. Going through this though, yeah, I would probably say The Dark Knight, but a good one I really like is The Prestige. I like The Prestige. Memento, I think was ruined for me because people had kind of mentioned what it was all about. So the flair of how the story played out and the gimmick, essentially the gimmick, didn't hit me as hard. See, I told you Jingle All the Way needed to be in there. Also, no Last Action Hero. Okay, movie Oracle. I know that a lot of people love no Last Action Hero. I've only seen it once. I watched it 7 years ago, I want to say, for the first time. And I liked it, but I think it was a film that if I would have watched, I should have watched it as a kid. If I would have watched it as a younger child, I would have actually like loved it. I would have fallen in love with it and it would have been a classic. But I think that I just came upon it too long because Jingle All the Way, The Running Man, and Total Recall, all of those, even though like those other ones are a little bit skewed R-rated, I watched those at a very young age, and I think that it just boom, that hit me and it stuck with me. Same with The Fifth Element. The Fifth Element was another one that was just like randomly on TV, and it was like that sci-fi, that action, everything about it, the weird world, and also like a half-dressed woman. That's why I like that film as well. Jingle All the Way, I watched it because I was a kid. Because of the kid from Star Wars, because I love the Phantom Menace so much, I had to watch the movie with Anakin in it. Did they use that as a marketing situation? Because, yeah, I know he's in that film, but I guess I don't know how many years after that was or how many years before. I think it honestly might have came out. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I think it came out that same year. Yeah, Jingle All the Way. Jingle All the Way. I know that a lot of people hate it. I love it. That's like one of my probably top five. I wouldn't say top three. Top five Christian Quithmith movies. Top five Quithmith movies. What else do we have over here? Favorite Paul Verhoeven movie. I gotta look these up because I am not I'm not too keen on a lot of these movies and directors and stuff like that. I don't know my stuff. That's what I'm saying. Ooh. Hollow Man. It looks like Hollow Man's on this list. RoboCop, Starship Troopers, Basic Instinct, Total Recall, Showgirls. Hey. A movie called Turkish Delight, which just sounds filthy. And then Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon. They made a Hollow Man 2, apparently. I am going with, you know what? Probably Total Recall, but I really, Starship Troopers was another one that I watched as a young child. That I really liked. I saw that on TV and just like aliens and bugs and space marines and stuff like that. Very much liked. Arnie or Sly. I think Sly has a good, franchise here or there, but I think Arnie is the one that I grew up with, I loved, a fun story, and I'm sure that this has happened to a lot of people, is I watched Terminator 2 years before Terminator, and that one's my favorite one. Like, it's so weird because that is essentially a standalone movie, and then you watch the original Terminator, it very much is a companion piece. Like, you can get a little bit of a backstory, but Terminator 2 completely stands on its own. Scream or what's Anos? Man, I don't know. I'm failing right now. I don't know. I don't know what that abbreviation stands for, man. A night. Thank you, Movie Oracle. Thank you in the chat. Thank you. A Nightmare on Elm Street. I've actually only seen, spoiler, I've never seen a Scream movie, and I've only seen one Nightmare on Elm Street, and it was because I just haven't gotten around to watching the Scream movies. But Nightmare on Elm Street, I remember watching it, and it scared the shit out of me. I don't know which one it is, but it's the one where I think Johnny Depp goes to jail, and then the bed sheet goes around and hangs him. I think that's the original one. I'm not sure. I'm sure someone in like 2 seconds is going to let me know in the chat. So I'm going to say that, yeah, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I will not get Apple TV until Scorsese's film. That's what Mike has to say. If you could live your life as one anime character, who would you be and why? Whew, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if people know. I'm not too into anime, but I think I might take the cheap answer and just say Ash Ketchum because I love Pokemon. I grew up with Pokemon. Even though he is very whiny and whatnot, I would pick him because I love Pokemon and I think it'd be crazy to be in that world. Gotta catch them all that stuff. I wouldn't be like him and just like not evolve my Pokemon. I'm sorry, but Pikachu, you're turning into a Raichu. Squirtle, I'm sorry, but you're going to be a Blastoise. We gotta get those tier 3 Pokemon up in this. Not going too deep into it, but it's about a family whose son is convicted of murder. Okay, so he's referring back to saving Jacob or whatever it is, murdering his classmates, and you're constantly wondering whether he did it or not. Well, man, I love a good mystery like that, so I don't know. I might have to check it out. I'm wondering, certain vids, I don't know if you can tell me, are they going to do multiple seasons, or was this a limited series type thing and it's done and over with? You should let me know in the chat. Yes, I've seen Shriek, and while it does all the same stuff, it doesn't land the comedy the same way Scary Movie does. Yeah, the movie Oracle, you are 100% correct. Again, I haven't watched it since high school because a friend brought it over, and I was just astonished that it's essentially the same movie. But yeah, I think that's why is the comedy is there, but it's not up to the caliber of the other one. It has some weird stuff. Like I remember there's like a guy that is dressed as like a deer, and he's like captured by a hunter, and he's like licking from a salt lick. Like that's a weird parody movie that I think people, I wouldn't say check out, but it's just so weird. And there's a whole slew of parody movies that like people haven't even seen, like Wrongly Accused, not Once Bitten. There's another one with Leslie Nielsen, and it's like a vampire movie. But there's Saturday the 13th. There's Student Bodies. Like there's a bunch of like 80s, early 90s parody films like that. Thoughts on The Curious Case of Benjamin Button? It's good. I like it, but it isn't Fincher and Pitt's best like the Academy thinks. I have not seen The Curious Case of one Benjamin Button. That was a movie that, I'm sorry, but it just scared the bejesus out of me because, like, this old man is a baby, and it just was weird. I know that some people really liked it. I know that it got high praises and everything, but that is just a movie that slid through the cracks, and maybe I need to go back and check it out. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I have no opinion, so I'm sorry about that. It takes place inside that 1 week, but doing so for the third film makes no sense, and there's too many inconsistencies and contradictions. So yeah, going back to the Jeepers Creepers lore, they would have been smarter to stick with the original plan and follow the sister from the film 23 years later. I think, yeah, again, your Jeepers Creepers lore way more than I do, but I think that would have been the best bet because 2 sort of sets up like the return of the Jeepers Creepers, man. And that would also tie in with the first film, so it would be a nice, patch up of everything. Sounds like the third one they just kind of threw in there and tried to make it work, but entirely it didn't really work. Favorite movie sequel? I'd have to do a deep dive on this, but honestly, I think it's probably, I was just going to say Terminator 2, but I'm trying to think there's got to be one that's way better than that. I'm going to say Terminator 2. I'm going to say Terminator 2 for sure, just because I mean, again, I didn't watch the original one. I grew up with Terminator 2, and then I went back and watched the original, so it's kind of like cheap is like, oh, is it really a sequel in my eyes? Because I thought it was a standalone movie. Otherwise, I would just say, take the easy way out and say Empire. Empire Strikes Back is a solid sequel. Maybe not my favorite. I'm still going to say Terminator 2. The Love Guru, great ice hockey movie. Yeah, isn't there an ice skating scene or an ice hockey scene in that? I have not seen that. I think I watched clips of that years and years and years ago, but I haven't seen it. Yeah. Mike Media has to say, as a conspiracy theorist, the Jeffrey Epstein docuseries is heavily important for the community. Thoughts on the other famous people that were on that island. So yeah, the Jeffrey Epstein docuseries that just came out showcasing sort of the main point of view of it is the point of view of the survivors and the girls and women that were essentially taken advantage of in that situation. I think that there's so much more to be said. So much more to be said in this story. And again, I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about what this guy was doing, what the celebrities and everyone high up was doing with this guy. But there's too much more to be said, because how does a guy die in his prison cell when there's supposed to be guards every now and then and all of that stuff? And then it's kind of like, is he actually dead? Did he fake his own death and he's surviving somewhere overseas? I think, again, like I'm saying, there's so much more to this story. And I even said in my review, I hope that there's a bigger, longer docu-series or documentary covering everything. The girls or women, maybe more of them coming forward, Jeffrey Epstein, what the hell was going on that island, his girlfriend, who, all these people that were straight up like exposed, they didn't go to jail, they didn't have anything happen to them. And then also the people that were conspiring with him, that were also involved with this, like, they need to be brought to justice, essentially. So I think that there's so much more to be said. And I think that there's a lot of people that should watch themselves. I mean, they mentioned, for example, Clinton. They mentioned that he's on the island like 26 times. Why? Why is he on that island 26 times? There's something weird going on there. I don't know. I would recommend, I mean, trigger warning. Obviously, it's a very in-depth and might be hard to watch for some people, documentary or docu-series on Netflix, but I would say check it out. It's very powerful. It's disgusting, but also it's great that they're getting that message out there to people, almost like educational somewhat. Favorite 2 Halloween movies. I've only actually seen I've seen the original Halloween, I've seen the remake of the Halloween, and then I've seen the 2 Rob Zombie Halloweens. So I'm going to say the original, and then I'm also going to say the remake, because the Rob Zombie ones get a little goofy. They stray into a territory that is more of like a slasher than like this tense slasher, because the original Halloween, I wouldn't say it's aged, but you can tell that at that time that was a horrifying, scary thing to watch. Have I ever considered doing a top 30 movies of all time? Excuse me while I blow my nose. Ugh. Have you considered doing a top 30 movies of all time? Yes, I have. I don't know. It's this thing where, an idea will spout up on someone's channel, and then everyone kind of runs with it, and I don't want to be someone that's going and copying everyone else. I kind of do my own thing. But yeah, that has crossed my mind. Doing the whole my favorite movie of every year I've been alive. That's been one that's thrown up quite a bit. My favorite comedies. There's been a lot of movies or video ideas that people have thrown over to my channel that they want me to do. I don't know. I think it's so hard to do lists like that, though, because I love movies, and like there's certain ones that I love like now, and then in 2 years I might not like, and then in 3 years from now I'm going to love again. It's tough, especially 30 movies. Like there's so much random garbage that I watch that I love that no one will even ever know about. Like a good one that I did a movie spotlight on JBuck Live for was Mystery Men, the Mystery Men, 1999 Mystery Men. Like, no one knows about that movie, and I love it. Like, it's such a weird, goofy superhero comic book movie that came out before this big craze. And I think that if it would have been done today, I think it would have been, people would have loved it. Absolutely loved it, but I don't know. If you've seen Hacksaw Ridge, I have not, unfortunately. What are your thoughts on it? It's probably, oh my god, I'm dying here. What? It's probably my favorite all-time war film and maybe favorite lead performance as well. Also, if you've seen it too, what do you think? Do you like it more than 1917? So Hacksaw Ridge is a movie that I think it came out right before I started doing movie reviews and essentially seen every single movie. Haven't seen it. I know that quite a few people say they really love it. You know, it's what Andrew Garfield portraying this character that was like, he was a real person. So there's that. 1917, I absolutely loved. It was such a theatrical experience. Like, it was big screen, big sound, and it was just tense. And the filmmaking of that was so interesting to see how they sort of made it a full one shot. You can see where there's potentially cuts and everything in that. Oh my gosh, I did not get sleep last night. I don't know what happened. So no, maybe, you know what, I should throw Hacksaw Ridge on my list to check out. Yeah, Seth, perfect timing for that comment, even though this was 10 minutes ago. Jared, you need more coffee. Mel Gibson, favorite Mel Gibson directed film. I think is it called Apocalypto? Is that the one? Mel Gibson directed movies. I think that's the one that is the one that was the most Apocalypto. That's the one that like was the most unique and stood out to me. A lot of people, The Passion of the Christ, whatever. I didn't like that one. I'm wondering if Hacksaw Ridge is one that I need to check out. Okay. So Johnny is in it, but that's not his character. Well, clearly, Movie Oracle referring back to Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know my horror films. I don't know that franchise that well because my brain, for some reason, made him be the one that's in jail, but clearly that's not him. No, it's the one in which Johnny Depp gets killed in a bed. Oh, I think, okay, he gets killed in a bed, I believe. And that's the first film. Okay, let's see here. Movie, Marvel fan, you should check out The Young Master with Jackie Chan. Has my favorite fight scenes possibly of all time. There's only 2 fight scenes that are 2 minutes, and the rest are 8 minutes and above. Oh my gosh, wow. Is that one of his earlier films, I'm assuming? Because I know back in the day, he was just crazy in the films that Jackie Chan did. I remember, I think we had, okay, so this box art doesn't look like something I'm familiar with, but I know that growing up, I don't know which one it was, but there was always like a clip or two. Like I had an old VHS that maybe had a trailer for one of the films, but he's like fighting on a construction site and using everything around him, like buckets, a ladder, climbing upstairs, jumping off. I don't know what movie it is, and I'm not going to say it's Rumble in the Bronx because I don't think it's that one. But Jackie Chan, like those earlier films where he's just doing everything and anything with everything and anything around him, are some of the crazier things. Dorito Chip says, when I was 13, saw the franchise after Child's Play, Scream, Friday the 13th, and Halloween. Yeah, so Friday the 13th, there was actually like a random marathon on TV back when it was like Halloween, and my brother watched like all of them. So I tuned in and watched a handful of them. They're kind of, they get a little off the rails when Jason comes back to life and stuff. Halloween, like I said, I've only seen the handful of those, but Child's Play scares the shit out of me. I don't know why. I think it's something that happened in my childhood. I know I spent the night at a friend's place and they had like a My Buddy or Chucky doll, so that probably scared me. But yeah, Child's Play, the creepy little puppet dude moving around. No, I don't like that. To my knowledge, it had been marketed as a limited series, so this season is the only season. It's eight episodes, by the way. So yeah, talking about that, Saving Jacob? Breaking Jacob, Editing Jacob, Finding Jacob. That show on Apple TV Plus, the Jacob one with Chris Evans. Dracula Dead and loving it. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Movie Oracle, for helping me out there. Is water... Second Street Marvel, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining us, even though this question's about 10 minutes late. Is water really wet, or do we just perceive it that way? Man, you're getting deep with these questions. I think it's really wet, but then again, you could perceive it that way because when you... Nope, it's wet. It's wet. I'm not going to get that deep in it. Nope, not going to do it. Did you check out the Way Back earlier this year? As a huge basketball fan, it was quite exciting, but while I liked it, I couldn't help but feel disappointed. Maybe that's just me. Certain vids, let me know what you didn't like about it or why you felt disappointed, because I really enjoyed that film. I guess I thought going into it, it would have been a basketball movie. And basketball is sort of the core or the center of the film, but it very much branches off, and it's much more about addiction and this guy that is just going down a bad path and essentially finding, like, he needs to become sober. He needs to get his life together. And also, it has that kind of resemblance of Ben Affleck's actual life, with him dealing with addiction and stuff as well. So I think that's why I liked it. I mean, as a sports movie, I wouldn't say it's entirely a sports movie because the sports sort of take a back seat. Like, in my eyes, I thought it was going to be more of a Coach Carter type movie, but it's more of a guy dealing with addiction. So yeah. The theory is that Epstein and other powerful people used the girls to do film blackmail videos. So Jeffrey Epstein and powerful people could control people and manipulate them. It is definitely a thought-provoking situation. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, again, that's kind of what I mean. When it was first reported that he died in prison, I think a lot of people kind of came forward and were like, that couldn't happen, it's fake, blah, blah, blah. And then it kind of just disappeared. Like, it didn't really grab the headlines like people were saying and stuff. So with anyone that has that much money, that much power, that many connections, there's got to be something else going on behind the scenes. And again, I love a good conspiracy and stuff. I don't know. There's way more going on that we don't know about. Hell, even right now in the US with everything that's going on, there's a lot of shit that we don't know. So it's so just bonkers bananas. It's weird. In your humble opinion, Mr. Buckendahl, what is your favorite public celebrity meltdown? Oh God. I gotta look these up now. What are some celebrity meltdowns? I'm trying to think of ones that are very much like famous. I know that the voicemail of Alec Baldwin, that's the first one that jumped to my mind, was the Alec Baldwin voicemail. I wouldn't say it's my, I don't know, favorite, but that's the one that for some reason always came to mind. The Mel Gibson story is pretty weird, where he got pulled over and he's calling the cop like sugar tits and stuff. But I think the most like famous one is I would say a combination. Charlie Sheen with his whole Tiger Blood situation, and then they do like a documentary on it. I would say that one is crazy. Otherwise, Britney Spears, because it was so like in the know. Everyone knew about it, shaving her head, all that stuff. But yeah, probably the Charlie Sheen one, because he just went on like a 3-day bender, or it was probably even longer than that, doing Tiger Blood, hanging out with porn stars and everything like that. That guy's crazy. The Rob Zombie ones are the remakes, Jared. Yeah, the Rob Zombie ones. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jared, we all know your favorite movie is Birds of Prey. I don't want to do this right now, Mike, but it's not. Cool. I know that everyone has their own opinion on films. Birds of Prey just did not work for me. I don't know why. I don't, and that's the thing, is like I don't hate movies. There's just movies that I'm just not going to talk about anymore. And Birds of Prey and Midsummer are two movies I just don't want to talk about because I don't have great opinions on them. I know people love them, but I just don't. Mystery Men, one of the greatest movies of all time. Yes, Movie Oracle, this is why we're friends, because you know these obscure movies that a lot of people don't know about. Marvel Fan 45. I got to go, but I'm a huge Jackie Chan fan, and that's Mr. Nice Guy with the construction scene. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Marvel fan, thank you for hanging out and asking some questions and everything, and hopefully you have a great day, man. Appreciate it. Hey, Jacob Anders, who has been blowing up my DMs for a super secret something that I can't talk about. How are you doing? So certain vids, back to the way back. I guess my expectations may have been unrealistically high. But I was really excited because Ben Affleck, but I think the fact that it wasn't exactly a sports film kind of left me wanting more. Yeah. Yep, and then there's a second thing to it. Hold on. Second, I liked what they did with this character and all of the themes that they explored about the addiction and how his life has changed, but I felt it dragged and wasn't as interesting as I wanted. Yeah, I would have to rewatch it. I'd have to rewatch it for sure because I feel like you're saying, it could have dragged in certain parts. I was fully on board from what I remember watching in the movie theater. But going into it and expecting it to be more of a sports film rather than what it is with this more of like an addiction type thing, yeah, I could fully understand that, and it absolutely makes sense. So, no, that I feel your situation. I feel your problems with the film. I'm curious. I might have to go back and rewatch it when it drops on like streaming, like VOD, or hell, it's probably on VOD right now. But when it drops on like Netflix or Hulu or something like that, for sure. Oh, Movie Oracle, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much for the super chat. Wow, thank you so much. Collab soon. Hey, you know where to find me. Slide into those DMs. Let me know what's up. I know that I'm not going to spoil anything, but I know that we are working on a thing or two. So yes, there's that. But if you want me for something else, absolutely. And I should probably get you on a podcast. Because we are very much due for that. But thank you so much for the super chat. And slide into those DMs, girl. I didn't want to sound creepy, but, you know, that's me. Hey, what's poppin'? Hey, Ian, what's poppin', my man? Drunk Mel Gibson, Britney Spears shaves head and attacks car with umbrella. I can go on. Yeah, Jacob Anders, the Christian Bale one, that one is that I remember hearing about that one, and they played it on the radio like a lot for some reason. That one, I just feel like the guy just had a bad day. I think we've all been there. Like, that one is just someone was filming, blah, 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 all that stuff. But yeah, the Christian Bale one is pretty notorious. Seth has to say, yes, Seth, this is a good one. The David Hasselhoff eating a cheeseburger is the greatest meltdown. I remember that video of him just drunk on the bathroom floor trying to eat a cheeseburger is just the funniest thing ever. And I don't remember the details around that one. Like, was there a big controversy around it, or was it just a video of him drunk? Emerging of him eating that cheeseburger, because I don't remember there being any like racist comments or anything ill about people. But then again, I could completely forget about what had happened with the David Hasselhoff story. I just remember him just struggling through that cheeseburger, but also him just making love to the cheeseburger because he was so drunk and just wanted it. I don't even know about the Charlie Sheen one. I gotta look this up. Yeah, I think it happened. Like, they even did like a Dateline or a 2020 episode on him, and he is just like, I got tiger blood, and it was like him hanging out with Brie Olson, the porn star or adult film star, and just going on like this bender about how he's like untouchable and this and that. It's crazy. Yeah, Movie Oracle, you are right. I don't like Bop, and I'm sticking with that opinion. Same here. I know a lot of people love it. A lot of people do their thing. But that's bop. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. I don't know why. It just didn't do it for me. Hey, Itia. I think hopefully that's how I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Fave superhero. One superhero that has been made. I'm going to say Captain America. I love his trilogy of films. They're probably my favorite. But I want to see some weird stuff. Like, I'm really excited for the new Blade with, oh my God, what's his name? I'm blanking. Mahershala Ali. The Blade movie with that's what I'm looking forward to the most. But I always joke about it. But I want to see it. I want a Squirrel Girl movie with Anna Kendrick. You got to do it now. She looks perfect. She's the perfect age. She looks like a squirrel. She could be a squirrel. She is a squirrel. Make Squirrel Girl with Anna Kendrick. I'm sorry. Do it, people. Do it. Squirrel Girl. Have you seen Moon starring Sam Rockwell? I watched it for the first time last night, and the twist definitely took me by a surprise. I have not. That has been one. And no one spoil it for me. I haven't seen it yet. I have not seen it, and I really want to because I know that a lot of people have talked about it. A lot of people say that his performance is really good. The movie's really good. Everything about it is really good. If it is on streaming, I will add that to my list and maybe watch it today because I know that I have some free time later today that I'm supposed to watch a couple movies on a specific list. So I might add it to that list and see if I can binge through that. No, very, very curious about that. Very curious indeed. We're going to click on this one again because Movie Oracle is just too generous. Collab soon. Well, yes, obviously, collab soon. But also, again, thank you for the super chat. 3 movies I want to know if you have seen. City of God, Joe Dirt, and Spy Kids 2. City of God, I don't think I have. Joe Dirt, 100%. Like, that was a comedy. I think that there was, like, a handful of comedies that we just watched over and over and over again growing up. And it was Joe Dirt. It was Out Cold. It was Scary Movie 1 and 2. It was not as much later on, but Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber. Those were 2 that I watched all the time. But Joe Dirt, I watched so much at my friend's place. So, like, we'd always turn it on, and he's like, "Oh, I got the poopy on me," and like, "Put the lotion on the skin." That was my Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was a bad Arnold one, but like, yeah, Joe Dirt. Hey man, life's a garden, dig it. Love that movie. Love it. Don't watch the sequel because it is not good. It was a Crackle exclusive. I've been blowing you up like an ex-girlfriend. You know, that would make sense if any ex-girlfriend actually came around to blow me again, but, you know, not to get too graphic, that has never happened. They break up with me or I break up with them and they never come around. They're all married now. I'm like that Good Luck Chuck guy. They date me and then we break up and now they're married. So if anyone's looking to get married, just date me for a little while and then you'll get married, I guess. Another podcast suite I'm in. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I never slide out of them DMs. Yeah. Ew, gross. Get out of here. You're filthy. Hey, Danco. Yeah, Danco. Hey, this is the first time watching your stream. Well, Danco, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thank you to the stream. My channel, movies, it's like movie reviews, reactions, ridiculousness, you know, movie reviews, trailer reactions, ending explained videos. I have a live show that features movie news and sketches and a bunch of other random stuff. So yeah, if you like any of that, man, stay tuned for this channel because there's lots and lots more of that to come. Del Toro's Blade 2 was the shit. Yeah, I remember watching Blade 1 and 2 all the time because I think it was like on FX or the Encore movie channel that we had. Yeah, I would always watch those two. Those two were like I think it was like early 2000s or late 90s when the first one came out. But yeah, I would watch those all the time. Favorite film that hardly anyone has ever heard of, not including me. Excuse me while I blow my nose. Um, this is a tough one. I know, here's one, but I think more people have kind of come upon it, is Out Cold. It's a 2001 movie. It's a snowboarding movie. It happens or takes place up in Alaska. And it's like these group of, people at a ski resort, but then the ski resort gets bought out. It's very funny comedy, but follows the plot points exactly of Casablanca. That's one that I think a lot of people haven't seen because they're like, oh, Zach Galifianakis, his first movie was The Hangover. It's not. It's not even Out Cold. I'm sure he was in a movie before that. But Out Cold is one of them. But another one that is a companion almost that I would watch like back to back is Grind. I gotta find out what year this is. It's a skateboarding movie, 2003. It's a skateboarding movie. It's rocking an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. But I love this movie because it was like I was into skateboarding back in the day. My buddy was into skateboarding. We loved this movie because it's just these dudes that skateboard and go on this like trip, and Bam Margera's in it and a lot of cool tunes. And it's just kind of like this fun road trip type movie. Some fun characters. You got a guy named Sweet Lou in there. So yeah, 2003's Grind. It apparently cost $6 million to make and only made $5 million, and has an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. So Grind is my answer to that one. Moon is made by Doug Jones, aka David Bowie's son. All right, so I gotta check that one out, man. Gotta check it out. In the 5th grade, watching the scary movies at sleepovers was the best, for real. Yeah, man. That was like our go-to. We would watch Scary Movie 1 and 2 at those sleepovers. And I remember we would go in and watch all of the deleted scenes and stuff. And here's a funny story. There's one on Scary Movie 1 where Ray is the quarterback and he's like waiting to get the ball hiked to him, and he's like 23, 24, 69, 69, 69, and then they stop and they're like, dude, just hike the damn ball. And he's like, hike, and then he moves back, and he has a huge boner. And as a 5th grader, 4th grader, whatever, however old we were, we thought that was hilarious. But right when that happened, the dad of the kid that we were having the sleepover walked in, and he was just like, boo, and then walked out of the room because he didn't want us watching the movie, but also that was just unfortunate timing for him to walk into the room. Favorite Clint Eastwood directed film? Oh God, I gotta look these up now. I think American Sniper, maybe. That's the first one that's coming up to my mind. Clint Eastwood directed movies. Let's see what we got here. Richard Jewell was pretty good. I will say, okay, I'm scrolling through this. $1 Million Baby is one I haven't seen, and a lot of people always talked about that movie. Let me know if that's like a really good one and I need to check that one out. Otherwise, Gran Torino is pretty damn good. I like that movie, even though like he's hella racist in that movie. Yeah, Gran Torino. I heard The Mule that came out in 2018 is just a hilarious watch because he's an old man that somehow has 2 threesomes in the movie. So if you're directing a movie and you're that old, why not put yourself in 2 threesomes, I guess? The dog stuck to the porch scene in Joe Dirt is epic. Oh God, just stretchy nuts. Yeah. Ugh. Favorite Turner Classic movie. Haven't seen them yet. TCM movie. Unless that's not Turner Classic. TCM movie. Turner Classic Movies. That's honestly, I don't know. There's probably a ton on there that I need to see because I haven't seen anything of older, like, Gone with the Wind, Casablanca, Citizen Kane, Lawrence of Arabia. Like, I haven't seen any of those movies, so I need to go back and rewatch, or even not even rewatch, check out some of them. Oh, TCM, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, Dorito Chip, you're throwing me off with these abbreviations, my man. I've only ever seen the first one, and I've only seen half of it because it was just so weird. Because is that the one where they like go on a road trip and there's a guy in a wheelchair and they're like kind of just slowly going around in the house? If so, I've only seen half of it, and I remember it was in the background of when I was having an argument with a girlfriend. So I kept like not focusing on the argument and just watching the movie. So like that's the only recollection of the movie I have. Yeah, so Movie Oracle, yeah, your favorite hidden movie is Warriors of Virtue. And I know that you had mentioned that to me, and I still haven't seen it. Warriors of Virtue. So maybe I need to, you know what? Yep. This is the one. I remember talking about this. You had brought this up because the box art, I have not seen Warriors of Virtue, but, excuse me, the box art is one that I remember seeing everywhere going to rent VHSs back in the 90s with my parents. Like, that box art just jumps out at me. I guarantee that I picked this movie up 20 times and I just never rented it. Because this, like, these weird creatures and everything look exactly like something I'd be into. Yeah, wow. I will definitely have to check that out. I got poo on me. Kid Cannabis and Secret Life of Mitty are amazing, underrated early 2010 films. Kid Cannabis was one that my brother, I think, has watched a handful of times. And I can't remember much of it, but it's one that I think that he's turned on quite a bit of times, and it has a few funny lines and stuff. So I don't know. I might have to check that out. $1 Million Baby is really good and worth a watch. All right, I'll definitely check it out. Even though I know what happens because they've made fun of it in Scary Movie 3, Scary Movie 4, whichever one. So yeah. They're kangaroos. Yeah, I was just gonna say, are they goddamn kangaroos? Because they're like, look at this, people. Like, I don't know if you can see this. Warriors of Virtue. Yeah, they're like giant kangaroos that are like obviously warriors. Man, I gotta check this out. This looks so goofy and weird. Like, look at this. It's like a magician kangaroo dude. Weird stuff. So anyone and everyone that's watching, I'm going to probably wrap this up in the next 5 minutes, but thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for throwing the questions, and thank you so much for the super chats for all of you guys, especially Movie Oracle for throwing in the super chats. Yeah, Jacob Anders, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is they are just like the kangaroos from Tank Girl, and that's why I'm like, is it like a spinoff? Are they in the same universe almost? Yeah. The kangaroos from Tank Girl. That's crazy. But I'm going to answer a few more questions, and then in about 5 minutes, I'm going to get out of here. But for things that are coming up this next week on my channel, Movies and Nonsense with Dan Jensen drops on Monday. JBuck Live every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I think this week we're going to try to do the best comedy film. We're going to try to do like a bracket challenge. Wednesday, I'm on Fanjecture's channel with Dan Jensen again doing a live movie debate. And then who knows, whatever else. Hopefully another ending explained poorly, but those take a long time for me to write and edit. So yeah, that's probably coming up. The kangaroos, each one represents and defends one of the 5 elements. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. And more spiritual, less mutation. And Ice-T, yeah, Ice-T is in whatchamacallit. Yeah, Ice-T, God, Movie Oracle, you just threw me off by that tweet right now. Ice-T is in it. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's what's coming on my channel right now. I'm all scatterbrained right now. But thank you guys all for hanging out, answering some questions. I need to, I'll answer a couple more, and then I got to get off, eat some lunch, and then I have another podcast in about 30 minutes with Ronald E. Smith. It's going to be more of an interview of just kind of who I am, so be on the lookout for that. That's for sure going to be a nice one for sure. Yeah, Mike, I'm sorry I haven't messaged you back, but yes, I am down for a podcast tomorrow. You still up for a podcast of best films of the 90s with me tomorrow? Yes, I would be down for that for sure. I got to compile my list. Send me what time works for you. My day is fully open for the most part, unless I stream later. So whatever time works for you will work for me. So yeah, jump in those DMs and let me know. I will be down for that podcast for sure. When am I coming to Australia? Movie Oracle, here's a funny thing. When are you coming to the US? That's a joke. Don't come here. It's a disaster. When I'm coming to Australia, honestly, I need to figure that out, because if and when I do that, I need to obviously make plans, because I need to see you and I need to see Dan. It needs to make a thing where I'm seeing both of you, and I think that it would be really fun. Again, I need to figure out my life. I need to figure out schedules. I need to find, maybe there's like a convention over there that would then be an excuse for me to come over there for a convention, and then I could see both of you guys. I don't know. Again, I've been on YouTube for 3 years, and I've only ever met, I think two people. I've met two people from YouTube ever in this 3-year thing. So I don't know. I think that I think it'd be fun to meet a lot of you guys, especially people that I've done multiple videos, multiple podcasts with, and stuff like that. I was supposed to this year. Here's just kind of some inside baseball, or inside some behind the scenes. Obviously, South by Southwest, I was supposed to be at this year, so I would have met a handful of people there. I'm considering trying to get into TIFF, Toronto Film Festival. That one might be a little more tough to get into, but I was also supposed to, but it got canceled. I was supposed to be at Comic-Con this year with the Cinemania World podcast people, Alex Madden, Dwayne from over there, and a few other people. So, like, I was supposed to be at that too, and I would have met a handful of people, and I think we would have had I don't think we would have had a panel, but we would have had press passes, so we would have been able to do all of that. It's a shame. It's a shame of kind of what happened this year with all of the COVID and other things that are going on, because this would have been a big year for the JBuck Studios channel of just being exposed to more outlets, essentially, or getting more contacts. Networking. Ooh, networking. I hate networking, but it would have been cool to essentially meet some people finally in person and sit down with them, a face-to-face podcast rather than through the computer or anything like that. But I don't know. That's kind of what's going on. Jacob says PAX does Australia, and then also Supernova or Oz Comic-Con. So, okay. So there's a handful of events that I could potentially look into for that. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think that this year, 2020, is sort of a wash where there's not going to be any events happening this year. So yeah, I don't know. I think it might have to be a thing that gets pushed off to next year. And again, depending on where my channel goes, what happens, if I get a job with an outlet or something, because I'm trying to, I want to do this full time, but it's like, right now it's not paying the bills. So I need to find someone to work for to pay the bills. That's enough of me rambling. I am going to close this Q&A up, but thank you everyone that's tuned in, that is tuning in, that tunes in for the replay, has asked questions, all that stuff. Thank you guys so much. The Movie Oracle, Jacob, Mike, Seth, Ian, everyone that was in here, Q Reviews, everyone that was answering questions, asking questions, Dorito Chip Gamer. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to get out of here. I got to go do something before my other podcast. All the usual crap on my channel. Tune in for that. But guys, gals, everyone, thank you so much, and we will talk to you guys next time. Hopefully, you know what? I might stream some video games tomorrow, depending on how much work and editing and how motivated I feel like. Otherwise, I'll jump on and do some retro gaming. Anyways, guys, I'll see you. Stay safe, stay fun, keep killing it, all that blah, 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 blah stuff. We will see you later.